good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we're here to open your mind. Good morning, y'all. Today is the Good Life Friday, and we're going to have a conversation with a couple of millennials this morning. And I wanted to really have a conversation about exactly what a millennial is, because during, this time of year, especially with all the politics that are going on, people keep talking about the millennial generation, the millennial, and they're talking about, their points of view, what they've done and what they haven't done, and, how they're really changing the face of the United States of America, because the millennials are the children of the baby boomers, and by 2030 the millennials will outnumber the baby boomers, and we will be taking over the world. And yes, I am on the cusp of that. The baby boomers started delivering us at the end of the 70s. They say 77, 78 is the beginning of the millennials, so I slid right in there at the end of 78. And we have some young millennials in the studio with us today, and I've actually, grown pretty fond of these two.
Aww.
I have.
Aww,
they are some of our interns here from XU, so shout out to Xavier. And I really, we have conversations, randomly, at WBOK. We'll sit in the commercial studio or, just wherever, and we talk about, production and things like that. And I really love to hear their point of view, and so I really wanted to open people's mind to living differently in the world, because this is a generation that will be taking over soon. So I wanted their points of view on everything else. So Janelle, welcome to The Good Life. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
What you doing over there? Making faces.
I am living.
Well, I like that. I like that. Well, before we get started, I know that you all have a very special project that you are partaking in, so I wanted to let the audience know about this, because it's a really exciting time, and WBOK is a stepping stone for so many people in the community. And sometimes our community doesn't know exactly everything that WBOK does, but we really do reach out to those colleges and universities in the areas, and people who are interested in radio and broadcasting and production and learning the background. They really give them that platform. So we have these two interns who are, well, introduce yourselves.
Hi, everyone. What's up? My name is Janelle, a.k.a. JC. I call myself JC on the show. I'm a senior at Xavier University, mass communications. My focus is broadcast. And ever since being in just the field of radio and broadcasting, it's been, it feels like it's just supposed to be what I'm supposed to be doing.
Hello.
So I love it so much. It's we give out so much information through different forms of media, and that's always interesting.
And how long
for me.
have you been doing it?
Oh, man.
Because this isn't your first rodeo.
No, this isn't my first time at the rodeo. I've done on-air radio maybe once before, like one time before I did an internship at Q93. And now this is here, Urban Talk Radio, so this is like a little bit more in-depth with it. So I really
talk all the time.
Yeah, you're talking. So I really,
it's a lot different.
It's definitely a lot different. And just
people like, no shade to anybody who does music, but when you talk, like, you really, it's hard to talk for an hour.
And you have to talk. You
right.
have to actually be talking about something. Right. So just getting into it for me, I like to talk. So I like to, this is a good thing for me to experience now before I get out into the force and before I get out into the real world. And, just being able to have that experience is very great for me. So I'm excited.
We are excited to have you here. And
this is Kamani. I'm a senior at Xavier. I am a psychology major, but a mass communication and English minor. And so this is my first time really diving into the mass communication world, and really just trying to get out there, starting with our show, College Campus Roundup.
Okay. Exactly.
Premieres tomorrow at 11 a.m.
That's what I wanted to hear. Wait. I think I might have been talking over you a little bit. I want y'all to really understand that these two are going to be starting their own show on Saturdays. So shout out to them. That's when Steve Harvey says jump, y'all about to take the jump tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
No parachute.
So give the audience the information tomorrow about your show one more time.
So it airs tomorrow at 11 a.m. on WBOK. And it's just really me and Janelle just talking about real college issues, but, bringing into perspectives of not everybody who's the college age.
Right. So we kind of like, we give that personal experience from our point of view so that people can understand how we're thinking. You know what I'm saying? You said we're the millennials, Eileen, so we do have.
Yes, we, meaning me too.
You too. We're part of that too. So we like to share our viewpoints and how we feel on certain, touchy topics as far as maybe politics, exactly. As far as the election that's coming up, as far as what we as college students would want going into a workforce, a working world, what we want to imprint on that as well, and what we think we should, any kind of help we should be receiving from the powers that be as far as educational systems and, financing education and all of that. So that's important to us, and that's on the show. That's kind of the things that we talk about, and we just express ourselves on those topics. So.
Well, that's exactly why I wanted to have you all here, because sometimes when people say millennials, it gets a little bit skewed, and people are like, what is a millennial? So let me and even when looking this up, there were different reporting sites that were even a little bit skewed about it. So I got this off of techtarget.com. Okay. According to Iconoclast, a consumer research firm, the first millennials were born in 1978, i.e. me. Newsweek magazine reported that the millennial generation was born between 1977 and 1994. In separate articles by the New York Times pegged the millennials as 1976 to 1990s and 1978 to 1990. So exactly. And then Time also placed millennials at 1980 to 2000. So it really varies depending on, who you're talking to. Right. So I like the one that includes me, or the two. I like Newsweek and the Iconoclast because they include me. So I was like, right. So I'm like, yes, Newsweek. Okay. I'm all about that. Right. So, overall, the earliest proposed birthdays for millennials looks like it's like that 1976 generation. Right. So just to give you a snapshot, millennials grew up in an electronics-filled and increasingly online and socially networked world. They are the generation that has received the most marketing attention. Wow. At the most ethnically diverse generation, millennials tend to be tolerant of difference, having been raised under the mantra, follow your dreams, and being told that they were special. We are special. Definitely. Yeah. If we don't believe it, who's going to believe it, right? Ooh, exactly, right. Thank you. They tend to be confident. While largely a positive trait, the millennial generation's confidence has been argued to spill over into the realms of entitlement and narcissism. That's a whole nother conversation.
I know, that's another day.
Right. Look, for a show on Saturday, right? They're often seen as slightly more optimistic about the future of America than other generations, despite the fact that they are the first generation since the silent generation that is expected to be less economically successful than their parents. So, I'm going to give you a couple stats, and then I want your, 2 cents on all of these stats.
Okay. Got a lot of change today.
Huh?
Got a lot of change.
You got good. You see, but y'all keep me up to date with like the slogans and stuff. Yeah. Tell them what change means, because for all those people who don't know.
Oh, the change is like my opinion.
Right. Just my 2 cents.
Your 2 cents. He said just sprinkle it everywhere. Exactly. But that's the point. That's the point of having these conversations, because when we talk, we're at family functions, you think they're talking outside the box, but we really need to understand, what their dialect back then and their, conversations are, their colloquialisms. We need to understand that. Right. So that's why we have these conversations. So some millennial statistics. 50% of millennials consider themselves politically unaffiliated. Do y'all?
I would agree.
I definitely agree.
I'm not really a political person. I
feel like a lot of our generation isn't. Yeah. And I think it's because we think that, like, stuff doesn't affect us directly, whether it's local or national. It's kind of like vice versa. Kind of like we think the national stuff doesn't really affect us, but then when it comes to, like, the local time to vote, we say, oh, I'll wait till the big election, and then that comes and you switch it up. So it's just like changing all the time.
But it's important for us to have these conversations, because if we never talk, then we never understand.
Right. True.
So, okay, next. 29% consider themselves religiously unaffiliated. Now, this was very interesting, because if you do look out, I find, I'm going to let you say it before I say it.
What?
Because I don't want to skew your mindset.
Okay.
Well, 29% consider themselves religiously unaffiliated. How do you?
I can see that. being so, because a lot of our generation don't necessarily like bind themselves to like a religion. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, oh, I believe in something, but they never state what it is. Like they believe in something, but they never like state what it is.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, another thing that goes back to tie into with this generation or millennial not really being political is that religion is very political. Mm-hmm. So knowing that if you have that, it's like you kind of try to work the two, and when it doesn't really coincide with how you feel, your ideas, your beliefs, it's kind of like I don't really want to affiliate with none of it, political or religion, because they're both kind of on the same playing field. So
as much as we try to keep them separate,
as much as we try to keep
that's
them
hypocrisy
separate.
Because we don't.
Exactly.
If you watch the debates last night, you're like, wait, you're putting it in politics. There's really no way to kind of separate them, in my opinion.
Right. So that kind of, I feel like with us, especially for me, it doesn't really confuse me, but it just like strays me away from it even more, because it's like, how do I put something that I'm supposed to believe in? This is my belief, my higher power. I'm supposed to believe in this, but going along with politics, some of the things does not line up with how religion's supposed to, work for the individual. Mm-hmm. And politics doesn't always work for the individual in that way, especially when you have people who are being oppressed and then you have the oppressor. Mm-hmm. And so how does religion really play into that, seriously, if I'm trying to progress in life? So it's just like, I don't really want to deal with politics. I don't really want to deal with religion either. So
I totally understand, because it's funny. I was watching a Republican debate last night, and now, y'all, I never thought I'd say this on radio. But I agreed with Donald Trump.
Happening?
Okay. Okay.
He was talking about not letting anyone die in the streets when they were talking about health care, and they were talking about really cutting, everybody off, like certain extremes, like the Ted Cruz.
Right.
But then he's so, in quotation marks, religiously based, but he would be willing to take away people's health care.
That's crazy.
And I'm just like, how do you
thread
that needle? Right.
Right.
Because you're saying you have a religious foundation, but then you're trying to take away people's health care.
Right.
Yeah, he just does the most as far as like his statements and like what he says. It's kind of like, I feel like now he's doing it to just get headlines and like, oh, Donald said this, Donald said that.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm used to it at this point from what he said about like, ISIS, Mexican immigrants, Muslims. It's just like so repetitive.
We're going to get into that a little later. Let me go through these. All right. Into these other statistics. They say that, now see, y'all are going to agree but disagree with this. Mm-hmm. The millennials have the highest average number of Facebook friends, with an average of 250 friends versus Generation X's 200. Well, I have 5,000, so I don't know about y'all. And y'all aren't even on Facebook anymore.
I was about to say, Facebook.
Y'all aren't even on Facebook anymore.
We don't even do Facebook. No, we, that's not our thing.
Y'all, that's the upper,
like
that's the upper generation.
That used to be our thing in like
middle
used to
school,
love it. High school.
Yeah, it was high school. Like the peak was high school. The climax of Facebook was like in our high school years. But you can enjoy it.
They're looking at my
Yeah, you can still do your thing.
You can still make a status. You can make a status right now.
Well, you know what? I am at the, the upper echelon of the millennials. So I will say, I keep in touch and I watch my high school friends and their kids and stuff, and that's how it kind of brings us together. And I use it for business as well. True, that is a good life. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to jump more into this conversation. I know you want to hear their point of view because they have a lot of change. And if you don't know what that means, you need to stay tuned. This is the Good Life Friday. We'll be back, y'all.
Gentile Italian Pie is home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentile Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentile Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentile Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabout for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentile Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Mirabeau in Gentilly.
The Anthony Bean Community Theater presents the New Orleans premiere of Rain Denise Wilson's powerful drama, Jungle Kings, directed by Robert Doki and starring the best of New Orleans actors.
You can't do nothing right. Washed up in all his sins.
When I step out this door, best believe I'ma represent. What you say is kill or be killed out here, right? In the jungle, right? Well, I already know what the law says. I'm in it to the end.
One day you gonna die with so many things. Boy, you gonna be the untouchable Jungle King.
Sometimes they cry with a gun in their hand. Sometimes they cry with a knife in their hands. Sometimes they cry with deep demands on their tongue that can't even be met.
You go to high school for what? A piece of paper? Minimum wage? If you want what I got, you stick with me. You come up real fast, you heard me? 2 more weekends, February 19th through 28th. Showtimes Friday and Saturdays at 8 p.m. and Sunday matinee at 3 p.m. Tickets are $20 and $18. We are located at 1333 South Carrollton Avenue. Order your tickets today by calling 862-PLAY. That's 862-7529.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
L&R Security provides the good life. They make their mark in the security arena by providing excellent security services for more than 35 years and are licensed in more than 13 states. L&R Security's team comes with a wealth of experience from the military, law enforcement, and law enforcement training. Their personnel is comprised of more than 200 employees trained in video monitoring, special event services, convention services, armed and unarmed security guards, ticket takers, executive security, personal bodyguards, hall monitors, and critical infrastructure personnel that are TSA trained. L&R Security services are provided on a 24-hour basis and have expanded to the newest technology, including video monitoring. Find them on the web at www.lrsecurity.com or call them today at 504-943-3191. Again, that number is 504-943-3191. Live the good life with L&R Security today.
As a business owner, do you ever wonder how you can gain better exposure to potential clients, not only locally but around the world? The internet has changed the game for everybody, and whether you're a small mom and pop shop, a medium-sized business, or nonprofit, it's important that you have a web presence online. We at Peak Mountain Technology Solutions understand that growing your business means more to you than most people realize. That's why we've taken it upon ourselves to offer the very best in website design. We're talking custom-built websites that are professionally designed with your business in mind. Websites that are designed to help attract customers to your business. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level, give Peak Mountain Technology Solutions a call today to see how we can help. In addition to website design, we offer a full range of information technology support. So give us a call today at 504-355-8400. Again, that's 504-355-8400.
Back on the air, let's go to the phones. Caller, let me help you.
Hi, so I've been trying to get my landlord to fix my washing machine for weeks, but he keeps avoiding me. What do I do?
Excellent question. Well, have you been to AT&T?
Why? Is my landlord there?
No, but when you have AT&T Wireless and DirecTV, you can get unlimited data.
Sounds great. But how will that fix my washer?
Well, it won't. But now that AT&T and DirecTV have joined forces, you can enjoy your favorite DirecTV shows on your phone while you're counting quarters at the local laundromat.
Sweet.
Sweet indeed. AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Come into AT&T now and get the Samsung Galaxy S6.
Must have eligible TV service. If you're not eligible, AT&T will move you to a new plan and overage charges may apply. After 22 gigabytes of data usage, AT&T may reduce speeds. TV content varies by device, location, and package. Monthly and other charges, usage, and other restrictions apply. See store for plan details.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we're here to open your mind. Y'all, Kamani's in here saying that he likes my music. Of course you do. That is Trumpet Black. That is my theme music. And speaking of it, y'all know I say it every time I say Trumpet Black's name. If y'all stole his trumpet, bring it back. Somebody stole his trumpet from he passed it. Somebody stole his trumpet from his funeral. So if y'all know where it is, somebody knows somebody who knows where his trumpet is. So if y'all know where it is,
that is dirty.
It's dirty.
That is
Bring his trumpet back. But I do want to remind you that the Good Life Radio Show is brought to you by the Morris Reed Jr. Law Firm, a New Orleans law firm. If you have been hit in a car accident or charged with a crime, call 504-488-HELP. That's 504-488-HELP. 504-488-4357. 504-488-4357. The Morris Reed Jr. Law Firm is a full-service law firm that fights vigorously to get you the money you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or you have been charged with a crime, call Morris Reed Jr. and let their experienced, highly qualified attorneys provide you with expert legal help today. Call 504-488-HELP. That's 504-488-4357. 504-488-4357, because that is The Good Life. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we are discussing conversations with millennials. And we have an additional millennial in the studio today. Yay. I am really excited. We have Shady Feelgood. I said Shady, and you know what? I said I'm not going to say it that way. I just promised. I practiced it, and I wrote it Shawty Feelgood.
I guess practice don't make perfect.
You know, right? It's radio. It's all right.
Yeah.
Are y'all forgive me?
Yeah.
You forgive me?
Yeah, I forgive you.
Okay, you say it.
I mean, I don't have a choice but to forgive you. We're on your show. Right?
You know what? I like the way you think. I like the way you think. And y'all think he's funny. He's actually very funny. He's going to be one of the comedians for The Good Laugh. Relationship Tuesday going up on a Friday. And if y'all missed it at the end of January, you don't know what you missed. We're going to be having this event every other Friday, the last Friday of every month. So the next one will be March 25th. So make sure that you stay tuned for details on the Good Life Radio Show, because the Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday going up on a Friday was absolutely hilarious. And if you weren't there, and if you'd like to hear some highlights, you can go on Spreaker.com, The Good Life Radio Show. That's Spreaker.com, The Good Life Radio Show. It's an hour and a half on there. You can hear the comedians. You can hear some conversation that goes on during commercial breaks, because trust me, it went down. I wish I could tell you what was said, but there's certain things you can't say on the air. Yeah. So you definitely have to be there. So stay tuned. We will be giving those dates. And I want to thank you so much for being here and bringing the comedy hour to the Good Life Radio Show every last Friday of every month. But we're going to jump back into this millennial conversation, because y'all, millennials are taking over. By 2030, we will, because I like to say will be the largest generation in the United States of America. So that means if we all vote, we taking over.
Right.
We taking over.
It's about to be
our world. So I need y'all to vote.
Right. It's about to be our world.
I need y'all to vote, because, wait, didn't we just say that 50% of millennials consider themselves politically unaffiliated? I don't care if you're politically affiliated.
It doesn't
vote.
Right, yeah.
Right. Pick a side. Pick a side. Yeah. So we have Janelle, JC in here, and we have Kwame.
Hey.
I can't even get it out. But I want y'all, I'm sorry.
He feels some
Right. at me with names this morning. I'm gonna let you say it yourself.
Kamani.
What is up with me with names this morning? Okay. But they are here this morning because they have a very special show that is starting tomorrow. So give the audience some information on what you're doing tomorrow.
Our show is called College Campus Roundup. It airs at 11 a.m.
every
Saturday right here on WBOK 12:30 a.m. So make sure you guys tune in because we talk about the whole college life experience, man. What does it mean?
The ups and downs.
Right. What does it mean to be a college student? Getting into our minds, our heads, what we think about being the new millennial generation, and with all the politics and all of that. So yeah, we do have opinions, and we want people to hear what we have to say. So if you're interested, tune in. Make sure you tune in, man.
Every Saturday.
Well, look, let me tell you how I feel about this millennial thing.
Tell me.
Because you done sat up here and said we're the largest and all of this.
I'm about to give you some more facts you don't like.
Well, hold on. But that's because the other generation done died. It's our turn. We ain't got no choice but to be the most.
Exactly.
We the 30 to the 60? That's about the age. So that's us. We here and we taking over. We millennials.
About time. About time. So here's one that I'm sure. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna let you go with it. 55% have posted a selfie or more to social media sites versus 20% of Generation Xers. Well,
they have it out.
I do that at least every couple days.
Right.
Well, it's radio, so I got to put out something every day. But
just to promote it.
Yeah, just to promote it. Right. But I mean, I guess with since social media is it's fairly new. It's fairly new, and so they keep developing these new. You get new updates and new apps and all kinds of things, and you get overwhelmed with it. So you just want to dive right into it all the time.
And see, another thing is that people want to see people love to keep up with other people's lives.
Right. What
as sad as it may seem. Mm-hmm. And that's why, people post a selfie, they're like, oh,
it's
what's
like voyeurism.
Right. Right. They're like, what's that in the background? Is that McDonald's? And it's by Gentilly. So people want to know,
that's where you are.
Right. People love to keep up with people. So that's why the selfie thing, I could believe it.
I ain't never took a selfie ever.
Really? You got to take one. You got the phone right now.
We're going to take one. I'm going to take one and post
I might have been in a selfie, but I ain't never extended my grown arm and took a picture of myself. I ain't doing it. I'm telling you right now, I refuse.
Well, just to give you an idea, because I want to know, how has social media affected your lives? Because when I was growing up, there was no, and I'm on the edge of the millennial. Like I say, I just I'm on the cusp. I edged in there because when I was growing up, I didn't have this social media generation. I wasn't, thank God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I did, my parents couldn't follow. They follow me now. They know all my business. But you know what I'm saying?
But see, it's kind of like you're lucky, but you're unlucky in a sense. I mean, because I kind of wanted your, how your social media relation, kind of because some days I'm like, dang, what if we didn't have social media? What would people do? But then I think about it. What would I do? Would I go outside?
But that's crazy that you don't even know what you would do with your life without it, though.
I mean, that's kind of like with TV. We sit there and we're like, what would I do without a TV?
We used to play it in flag football.
That's what they had.
That's what we used to do.
Yeah, you had the outside game.
Sitting here and act like, hey, we used to play jacks.
Hey, don't play. My parents painted a hopscotch in
my
driveway.
I've never played hopscotch.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We were more creative.
I played it once.
Had to be.
I played it.
Double Dutch with your mama.
But you know what? I'm going to give you a point of reference, because when I was in my young 20s working, I had my job gave me a pager.
Oh, I know that was
in my 20s, and I was like, I had a pager.
Your pager era.
I did not get a phone until I was pregnant.
Wow.
With Aiden.
I had my first phone in middle school.
And that was in 2000.
Elementary.
Well, you might be right outside the millennial mark.
No.
Right
starts in 1977.
By a couple seconds.
It starts in 1977, and I slid in November 1978. But the thing is how different that is, and I look at my son growing up, he doesn't know a life without that. When we took a picture, my mom had to go drop it off at Fox, and it took 2 weeks. Fox Photo to develop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We take a picture, and he's like, you get to see it before you even take it.
Yeah.
Just a difference in time.
Oh, you used to the wave in the Polaroid?
There wasn't even a wave in a Polaroid. I didn't even get to see it. There was 2 weeks, and you could see, and you're like, dang, that's not a good picture. Well, I can't go back and retake it.
See, okay, well, that was my, the first 10 years of my life. Like that. The click and then the...
Right.
Or the little duck.
That was the first
gotta hold the button to make the flag.
The portable to duck.
Oh, Sean, you funny. We have Sekou on line too. He wants to get in on this millennial conversation. Good morning, Sekou. Welcome to the Good Life Friday.
It might not be all that nice.
Uh-oh, what you got to say?
For all y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he must be old.
Yeah. He ain't in this one.
Okay. Now, I know for a fact that when I look at the last 50, 60 years in America, right, certain people set in motion certain concepts like the millennial, the silent generation, the X, Y, Z generation, the generation gap. All that is nothing but fluff and misdirection. And it's amazing how some of our people, young brothers like yourself, I mean, I'm assuming all y'all under 30, under 40 at least, right?
We're under 40, yes.
Yeah, definitely. I could tell. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of, the most important thing y'all could do is study the history of African American people, ground yourself in the historical reality of our people, get with some older elders who wise and educated and understand what's going on, who's engaged in the community, who's trying to make a difference in fundamental difference in our people. If you hang out there with that thinking about, I'm a millennial, no running society, gray-haired white men. Gray-haired white men run the society, and gray-haired white women inherit the wealth of that society. And you don't fit in that cubbyhole, right?
Well, at what point do you?
Y'all generation got to do one thing: study the history of our people, understand what was the struggle about, why we was moving in the direction we was moving in, around education, housing, job opportunity, political self-determination. Understand that, and then you could lead off into a serious thing. A brother was on OT show this morning. His name was John Johnson.
Yes.
He was a well-educated brother. You ought to get and understand. There's a number of books. I'm going to recommend one book in particular. Get a book written by Harold Cruz, The Crisis of the Negro Intellectual. Get that book and study that book, and it's going to lead you to other books.
And you know what, Sekou, I'm glad that you called in, because this is exactly the conversation that we want to have, because so many times there's a divide between the generations. And yes, you should absolutely know your history. I absolutely believe that. You should know where you come from and where you need to, you want to,
where you want to take it to.
Where you want to take your community. Right. But with that being said, in about 15, 14 years, the millennial age group is going to be the majority. So the minority age groups has to embrace. You have to. Yeah. They're going to be the majority, whether you want to or not. You have to at least be tolerant to their point of views. Whether you agree with them or not, you have to listen. You have to show compassion, and you have to show understanding. They have a different perspective in life, and just because their perspective is different doesn't mean that they're wrong. Right. So you have to listen, though.
Please?
Yes, absolutely. That's what it's about.
All right. Yeah, let's have some free exchange of ideas and concept viewpoint. Let me say this to what you said. I just said that the society is structured. This society is highly structured.
Yes, sir.
And you've been highlighting some attributes of the so-called millennials, right?
Yes.
That they're not connected to tradition, not connected to religion, and not connected to certain political, apolitical, and exactly reflect that. You're right. The people, the young, some of you, not you, or necessarily everybody on that audience I'm talking to, but I engage a lot of millennials all the time, and I'm not impressed with the one that I'm engaging with, because some of them ain't doing their homework. Some of them don't have a concept of themselves, or they don't identify with the history of their people. If you isolate it in this society, you're dead.
But if you're only, we have to go into break, so why don't you hold during the break? But if you're judging people by the amount of historical education that they have, then we're judging them, and that's already showing a level of intolerance. And when you go at someone in a defensive manner, they don't even listen to you. Yeah. So it's the way that we approach each other and the conversations that we need to have, and opening our mind to living differently in the world, so we can have those conversations with compassion, love, and understanding. So we're going to take a break. And we'll be right back, y'all. This is a Good Life Friday. We are having the Millennial Conversation.
L&R Security provides the good life. They make their mark in the security arena by providing excellent security services for more than 35 years and are licensed in more than 13 states. L&R Security's team comes with a wealth of experience from the military, law enforcement, and law enforcement training. Their personnel is comprised of more than 200 employees trained in video monitoring, special event services, convention services, armed and unarmed security guards, ticket takers, executive security, personal bodyguards, hall monitors, and crew critical infrastructure personnel that are TSA trained. L&R Security Services are provided on a 24-hour basis and have expanded to the newest technology, including video monitoring. Find them on the web at www.lrsecurity.com or call them today at 504-943-3191. Again, that number is 504-943-3191. Live the good life with L&R Security today.
Gentili Italian Pies, home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentili Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentili Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentili Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Mirabeau for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentili Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Mirabeau in Gentili.
This celebrated moment in Black history is brought to you by Crescent Guardian Incorporated.
Dorothy Mae Taylor made history when in 1971, with the encouragement and assistance of her campaign manager, Oretha Castle Haley, Mrs. Taylor became the first African-American woman in Louisiana's history to be elected to the State House of Representatives. In 1984, she led the Louisiana Department of Urban and Community Affairs, becoming the first African-American woman to head a state department. In 1986, Ms. Dorothy Mae Taylor made history again as the first African-American woman elected to the City Council of New Orleans. Ms. Taylor began making a mark on the council when she authored an ordinance to end lunch club discrimination in 1988. Among Mrs. Taylor's other accomplishments was bringing to an end the segregation of the Mardi Gras cruise by authoring the Mardi Gras ordinance in 1992. Ms. Taylor was known for her hard work in making sure that all people were treated fairly and humanely, especially those in prison. I had the honor and privilege of serving alongside Mrs. Taylor on the New Orleans City Council.
This celebrated moment in Black history is brought to you by Crescent Guardian Incorporated.
Come on and roll with the RTA. You asked for more, and now there's new bus shelters for your comfort. 2,000 new bus signs. More information at your fingertips with online and SMS texting, and more ways to buy fares. Go to NORTA.com to explore. From New Orleans East to the Lower Nine, we got you covered. Dirttown, uptown, downtown, to the Algiers Point, and all in between. Rolling for everybody, everywhere. That RTA keeps New Orleans rolling.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
You're on the move and so is your bank. Liberty Bank now offers you the power to manage your money from the palm of your hand with mobile banking with Liberty Bank. Whether you need to check balances, transfer money, or view transactions, mobile banking at Liberty Bank allows convenient and secure access to your money. Enroll today at www.libertybank.net and download our mobile app. You can mobile bank at Liberty Bank to keep the power in your hands. Liberty Bank. There's freedom here. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
You're tuned into the voice of the people, WBOK 1230 AM, where it's real talk for real times.
Good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we're here to open your mind. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we are having the Millennial Conversation, a conversation that obviously needs to be had more often, because I don't know if we have enough time today. So I might have to have y'all back on a regular basis, because this is a hot conversation. Yes, and you can hear JC and Kamani every Saturday from now on. When?
Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on WVOK. Make sure you guys tune in. It's College Campus Roundup.
College Campus Roundup.
Yeah.
And Shawty Feelgood is one of my favorite new comedians. Well, new to me, but he's not new because he's been all over the world. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I won the Miller Lite competition here in New Orleans. I won the Shaquille O'Neal comedy competition in Houston, the semifinal round. One Louisiana funniest person. I mean, you know, I'm working.
You're doing a little something.
Yeah, you know, I do Christian comedy. I do ballroom comedy. I do everything. I'm well rounded. I'm a millennial.
You're a millennial. So if somebody wanted to come out and see you and support, how can they do that?
Well, I actually do starting March 4th. I'll do
next weekend.
Yeah, next Friday. I do every Friday out at Caps Lounge.
All right.
Yeah, on Lake Forest. 9301, I want to say. I think that's it. 9301 Lake Forest Boulevard, Suite 109. I think that's in the corner. You
so
come
what's
over,
the name of the place again?
Caps Lounge.
Y'all, next Friday, Caps Lounge.
Steak night, you know. Come get your little steak. Come get your little laugh.
Steak and some laugh.
Yeah. There you go. Well, we have the Good Laugh Friday, Relationship Tuesday going up on a Friday. So we will be doing that, and, you know, we will have lots of comedy, lots of conversation. So make sure you stay tuned to the Good Life Radio Show, because our next event will be March 25th. So hold that date. We will give you specifics on time and place soon coming up. But I know we had an interesting conversation with one of our callers before the break. So I wanted each of you to be able to have, you know, a chance to be able to respond to them. And then we're going to go back to the lines. So, Kamani, JC, Shawty, who wants to go first?
Well, I'll go first.
All right, Kamani.
So
hit us up.
Our caller kind of...
Yes, Sekou, our caller, yeah.
Yes, he talked about the millennials as far as, like, how he feels we're not really looking at history in the way that he looks at history. Mm-hmm. So for that, I feel like, you know, a lot of the older people, no, I'll say wiser people, they're kind of like stuck in their ways. So when you kind of like point the finger and you constantly keep pointing the finger, what good does that do? You know, like what outcome do you get? You know, as soon as you point the finger, like, do we go read the book? Like, is it like a command? So I just feel like, you know, teach us, and then we could teach others. So yeah.
Okay. I think it's very important because we all have to think. We have to understand is we're all not going to have the same viewpoint, same point of views, especially if we've grown up in two different times. And you have to understand the times that we've grown up in. We are a very tech savvy, digital, social media aged people. So
and if you weren't, you couldn't get a job.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So a lot of perspectives that we have, we're getting so much information from social media and all these other places, and we're you know, allowing that to, you know, help us with our thought process of how we view certain situations. But it's not to say that we don't know our history, right? Because I feel like, especially everything that has happened, especially in recent times and in past times, we understand the importance of being a Black African American in America. Mm-hmm. And because we know and understand that, we try to make those connections with where we are with the, you know, with the the digital age that we're in now in comparison to what has happened and what has been. So I think it's important that we work together for each generation to kind of bridge that gap, to kind of understand the viewpoint to where we all come from, because at the end of the day, we can't stay in the past, right? We got to move towards the future.
Okay.
And if we have something, what wisdom that comes from the past, we can use that with our knowledge of the present to help us get to where we need to be. So
all right,
that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Shawty?
Yeah, they're a little bit more straight line with it. I'm this is gonna be a little bit more ignorant point of view right here, because I feel like, you know, if they were really doing their job, you know, we wouldn't still be where we are right now. We pretty much fighting for the same stuff they were fighting for back in the day. We still doing the same thing. I mean, we doing it a little different. I mean, you gotta thank the millennials. All the reason we got the first black president, so you gotta give us something.
Okay.
Y'all ain't had that. Y'all ain't had that. With all
Jesse
that,
Jackson was a little fair.
all that now, so we ain't had to walk and all that for to do it. We text and we got it done.
Okay.
I mean, it was a little faster, but we hung in there and got it all done. So, you know, I mean, Sekou, I just think you just need to take a time and talk to some more children outside of where you are, because I don't know where you are. You say they don't understand black history and all that. I mean, I think black history, I mean, we understand it. We know where it is. But I think now at this point it's time for us to move forward and you know, just start trying to figure out some other ways to handle it, you know, and not, I mean, we ain't got beavers no more. I mean,
no or pager.
I gave that up.
No two-way.
I got my success right
here. Ain't no 8-track. Right. We ain't doing that no more. Ain't no 8-track.
There you
go. We moving on.
Yeah. We moving on up.
Sekou, so, you know, don't call here with that aggression, with the pastor voice.
We're going to go to the lines. We have Kevin and Gentili on line 2. Kevin, welcome to The Good Life. We are here with the Millennial Conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to kind of piggyback on what the last brother just said, along with what Sekou just said.
Okay, go ahead.
Look, we got a lot of black men, particularly, who are slacking in their duties. Okay, and the brother said it. Well, we wouldn't be going through this if everybody else would have did their job. I just want to say, Brother Sekou and all the Brother Sekous out there like that, y'all hear what y'all dealing with, okay, today. And it's because we didn't do our job. We need to get together, even today, because clearly these young people, you guys, don't understand perspective. And what I mean by that is this. Look, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And this is real. This is really getting real here. And y'all about to find out what Sekou is talking about. And we got to quit having thin skin and start dealing with substance rather than image, okay? Look, what's affecting y'all right now? It's the exact same thing that's been affecting us for the last 400 years, okay? Now, y'all have technology and all that. Look, just like the guy said, look, I found a supermodel on the internet, and this big old fat guy came up on the commercial who wasn't even French, a French model. Okay, just because you got technology, still don't change the fact here, how do you process information? If you are not going to learn from history, you will suffer the consequences of it. Now, Sekou and brothers like me, we need to get our job done. We're not going to save everybody, but we need to get together, like the brother said, and do our job today. Just because we didn't do it yesterday, we see the results of it. We still got history. We got perspective. We got to do too. Why always have this conversation? Because we didn't do our job. So let's do today and tomorrow what we didn't do yesterday.
Let's do our job. Thank you so much, Kelvin, for the call. We have Alvin on line 3. Alvin, welcome to The Good Life on Relationship Tuesday. We're having the Millennial Conversation.
Yes, it was a very good segue into it, because what I'm going to try to get across in a little bit of time. Also, with a combination of what the last caller just said, what are y'all saying? I mean, like this train that we're now on. Because, see, take it from somebody who, I'm a Generation X. So that means that my kid is a millennial because I had kids early. Now, the thing that happened between, and I'm Generation X, was mean I was born right after in 72, right after the civil rights, the voting rights amendments and all those type of acts we were passed. And in my opinion, what I can understandably see, because the Sekous and the likes like that, has always said that, but my generation was saying, well, some of us was listening. It's just that the people that got those advantages, they moved as the last caller said. Now we see the end result of those things. So what I do as an in-between and a part as a C, even if I call myself, as we call ourselves, visionaries and trying to see and put things together, I talk to my kids. I've been talking to my kids because if I'm not mistaken, y'all all under 30.
Oh,
no,
37 and under.
Okay, 37. So that's a good range. That's a good 5, 10, 15 year plan range per se.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest child is 26. My baby boy is 21. So they're part on the back end of the quote unquote millennials because now we have to start looking to see what we have the information that's available now and see how we implicate and put it together for the future. Meaning now, like the caller said, the older ones that are older than me that didn't reach out long enough or into the future long enough because those are your per se Malcolm X's, W.E.B. Du Bois, those type of people. You know what I mean? So really, and it brings us to even some modern day times. So really, when we bring that debate about statues, we should be also bringing examples of what we want as far as statues.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alvin, for your call.
I
Thank
hope
you so
I
much.
made sense because I'm trying to make it.
No, you're about having the conversation.
In the process that we're in, putting all these different pieces, social economics, which I like. School system, education. When we start looking at mayoral candidates for our future, so we can start putting these conversations together.
I have 2 minutes, and I'm trying to get our last caller in. Thank you so much. I have Jafewan. We are on relationship. I can't even get it out. On the Good Life Friday, we got about 45 seconds for you. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, this is Jafewan.
Jafewan, thank you.
Listen, I wanted to reiterate the definition of insanity.
Thank you.
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Right.
We're using the wrong weapon to fight this battle. Right. You using the weapons that white boy gave you to keep you in his prison. Mm-hmm. We got to remember, we ain't at home. We in his prison right now. We behind enemy lines right now. Using his Bible to define yourself ain't going to ever get you your freedom from him. Using his methods to try to free yourself ain't going to do nothing but buy him more time to break, take, and divide us all. You going to be the reason why we run around in this circle for the last 400 years? Because we ain't been having no direction and we've been trying to use his compass to tell us which way to go. We need to change direction completely. Black people was the ones to create religion. We was the one who create culture. We did that. So what we need to do is revert back to the culture that we created and build ourselves from there. And we are strong people now. We warriors.
We absolutely are.
About that Zulu you did, and it might be just time for that revolution to get.
I absolutely hear you, and I'm going to let each one have their 30 seconds final before we go out. JC.
Okay, 30 seconds before we go.
Yep, got it. 30 seconds.
The guy was saying that it's time that we start, kind of finding new ways to approach the situation, and I think that's very important. And those new ways, those new ideas can come from the generations that come behind older people. We get together and we try to look back and see where we were, what happened, what went wrong, what can we change up, and what can we bring to this new future that can kind of divert us to get us together in a new direction. So,
absolutely. Shawty, 30 seconds.
Well, I guess from my point of view, you got the older generation. They on our back real hard right now. We trying to change. We changing within the confines.
If you keep reminding someone what they're not, how do they become what they're supposed to be?
Exactly.
My 2 cents.
Right. Well, I guess I got 10 seconds now, so I'm Shotty Feel Good. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, Shotty Feel Good. Friday night.
Every Friday starting March 4th. Caps Lounge,
New Orleans East.
Okay.
Come on.
So my little 30 seconds, I'm putting in 5 cents, not 2.
Okay.
But basically, it's just everybody wants to point the finger, but remember, when you point the finger, you have 3 pointing back at you. So just remember, when you want to condemn somebody for not doing X, Y, and Z, just remember.
What have you done?
We're the generation of the snap.
Yes, and it starts with you. If you point the finger at somebody else, make sure you're doing the same thing. You want to call in and say this, but be at your community centers helping everybody out and progressing the movement.
And if we want to move our community forward, we need to stop infighting. So let's have conversations rather than arguments. This is a good life, y'all. Open your mind and living differently in the world. Make sure you stay tuned to Money Monday, and I'll see y'all next week.